They'll run on first down. Cohen. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here we go. 180. Well, fellas, here we go.
On second down and 4. Garoppolo. Open man is Ross, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
180. 12. Tighten up. Hey, go.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Damian Harris. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. They'll come up now second and 4 from the 31. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Stafford on third down. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They got a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talked about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Letting one, and it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Odell Beckham, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gano for the extra point. And it's 21-3. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. From the 30 on second down, Stafford, D Ford in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now it's Stafford dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Open man is born. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Stafford. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He's crashing. He's checking.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
260.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Garoppolo. It's caught by OBJ.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Garoppolo now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. This is Harris. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, this is Harris. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Well, remember last year, Week 5, Gano was good from 63 away to beat the Giants on the final play. This not as critical of a kick or as long, but also not as successful.
You're exactly right about that. I was fortunate enough to be on the call for that game, you know, and me and my crew, we got to see him. When they lined up, we thought, that's a long way. We know he's got a big leg, and then he hammered it. Probably would have been good up to about 70 yards. And after the game, the head coach, Ron Rivera, told the media that his special teams coach had told him, hey, he's good up to 65, coach. At each game, that's what the special teams coach does. Evaluates the distance, lets the head coach know.
Yeah, no doubt he's got the leg, but this time couldn't put it through. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. The Lions on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Wait, 80!
Number 53, Mike 53.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Garoppolo now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Garoppolo. But he completes it to Cohen. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist, 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 twist.
They'll start the third quarter with a run by Cohen. A gain of 3, 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Throwing on 2nd and long. Garoppolo got a man open. It's Ross. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36.
Here we go, here we go.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Here's Beckham now. It's a jet sweep. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And Justin Coleman brings him down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Throwing on 2nd down. Garoppolo. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a 1st down there to the tight end.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
To throw is Garoppolo. It's caught. Smith. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
Gano now to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Throwing is Stafford. Got the connection here to Bourne. The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Second and 5 now. Stafford, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Stafford. Screen play. Johnson. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
A quick throw now complete to Ross.
Eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
I got you, son. I got you.
Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Here we go. 180!
53, Mike, 53. We own them. We own them.
On second down, it's Harris. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Showing it. Showing it.
Two.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And this one complete to Smith. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the 1st.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 1st down at Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Jones has it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now Johnson, and he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. Able to fight through 1 tackle.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Push him back. Push him back.
The Lions' 47-yard line.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
On play action, now Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Check 26, check 26.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Third and 2. Stafford. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Oh, some strong running. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll start on the ground with Harris. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He finds Beckham complete, and he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Like 20!
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brent, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
That's to his running back, complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. On first down, it's Harris. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They run again with Harris. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 29, Stafford underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. D Ford in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
21.
They'll start the drive with Harris. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Check 43.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. Open man is born. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Greedy Williams picks it off. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game is certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Coming this way. Here we go.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second and 5 now. Garoppolo. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Shane Ray coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. Garoppolo now. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford, D Ford in there for the sack. And he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
54 Mike. All day.
From the gun, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away.